Welcome again on Inside Scoop, and right now we are joined by the co-director of Halwa, which is up for the HBO Asian Pacific American Visionaries Award, an amazing opportunity for Asian American cinematographers, filmmakers, actors, and so much more to really get recognized on a large platform. Right now, joining us via Skype and from Canada, we're joined by Gayatri Bajpai. She is the co-director for Halwa, and after Nirav, we are talking to her. So great to have you with us, Gayatri. Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi. Very glad to be here.
Gayatri, what an amazing opportunity to be given to two South Asians over here in North America. What an amazing opportunity to have another great version of an immigrant South Asian experience, perhaps, over here. How has your experience been making Halwa? And how does it feel to be up for this amazing, you have the nomination, but to be up for this amazing award, hopefully, that a South Asian movie could get? How are you feeling?
Really excited. To say that we're excited is actually an understatement. Nirav and I have been collaborating for a while as filmmakers, and to be perfectly honest, we were not expecting to be here. So it came as a wonderful surprise. We worked very hard from September onwards when we first conceived of the idea and turned around this film within a couple of months. So when Nira finally got that call from HBO, right, and we heard that we were being honored among the top 3 finalists, we were ecstatic.
The platform is definitely to promote the Asian Pacific American lifestyle, the experience. Where do you think it sort of struck the chord between the short film and what HBO was looking for?
We had an idea beforehand of what kind of film we wanted to make. So, as I mentioned, Nirav and I have been collaborators for a while, right, and we're good friends with an actress, Vijaya, that we've also collaborated with. And speaking to her over the years, we've realized that the kind of representation that there is for her, the kinds of roles that she gets to audition for, most, not all, but most tend to fall into a certain category, which is older South Asian mom gets her kid to eat and tries to arrange marriage, right? That's a pretty ubiquitous portrayal. So we've been talking to her. We really wanted to make something that was a bit more multidimensional. Nowadays, we've seen that among younger people, especially in the South Asian American community, there's a lot of shows coming out. There's a lot more representation and well-rounded roles at that. And we're taking control of our voices and putting out content that means something to us. But still among the older generation, we hadn't seen that kind of multidimensional role.
Right.
So we had this idea, loved collaborating. We've been talking a little bit about it. And then we saw the HBO prompt, and it was about the modern Asian Pacific American experience. And we thought, perfect, this is something that we can combine with our idea, and it'll get this amazing platform if we have any luck at all. And if not, then we've made a beautiful film that we feel strongly about. So that's how HBO's platform and prompt and theme came together with something that we'd already been thinking about that had been percolating in this team to result in Halwa.
Beautiful. And since you mentioned the word, I have to ask you a little bit more about Halwa. It is a movie that talks about a woman and her experience with an abusive husband, rekindling with the love from whatever short synopsis we were given prior to this interview. And Gayatri, how important was that perspective to have in Halwa? And when you were making it as a South Asian woman yourself, what were some of the key aspects that you really wanted to reflect upon when you were talking about this lead character and her experiences and the movie Halwa?
Well, as you know, the film Halwa is about a South Asian woman over the age of 50, dealing with a somewhat controlling relationship. She's a lonely lady and her life largely consists of being at home in kind of a domestic situation where her only company is her husband when he's home from work, and the connections that she has with the outside world tend to be friends that she speaks to on the phone or Skype calls with her daughter, and so she really isn't all that connected to the world. But something that we were thinking about vis-a-vis this topic of the modern Asian American experience was the fact that the internet and social media really kind of open up a world for everybody, older immigrants included, and we wanted to show how somebody in this isolated situation who's dealing with control, I'd actually call it abuse, of various kinds, overcomes her situation, and how opening up her world in this way brings back her sense of self.
Right.
And being somebody who's grown up in various places, I grew up in India, I came to Canada in my teens. One thing I've noticed about social media for all, it has many pros, many cons, but one of the major pros is being able to keep in touch with people from your past and get in touch with people after long gaps of time. And that can sometimes, I found, lead to a sense of discovery of parts of yourself or memories that you've forgotten. And that can be very empowering. It can be nostalgic and it can be sad as well, but it can also be very empowering. And that was something that we touched upon in our film, how this experience changes everything for this woman, for this character.
Right. You highlighted on some key aspects about what South Asian women, even now, are dealing with. And these are topics that we're constantly having discussions on, and we're constantly trying to find answers, even in 2019. When you worked on this movie as a female South Asian, director, what were some of, any challenges or any sort of norms that you wanted to come over as a South Asian woman? And do you think that sort of showcases in the movie as well, in your storytelling?
So one thing that I have noticed in the past when people are talking about the character of a director, there's all these legends about what great directors are supposed to be like. And often that takes on a very kind of dictatorial aura. Like, people expect a director to be somebody who enforces their vision and, bosses people around, maybe has freakouts from time to time on set just because that's what an artist does. And I think for me personally, my style, I've been told in the past, might be, it tends towards kind of a calmer vibe. And I think, I don't want to typecast genders here, but I think growing up as a woman, it's okay to use your emotions and to do things kind of in a more sensitive way. And I think that helps a lot when working with actors, especially, and getting into the heads of your characters, speaking to the actors about their experiences.
Right.
So I'm actually very grateful for that aspect of my gender and the way that, quote unquote, a woman might direct.
Right. So Gayatri, talking a little bit more about, this topic and about Halwa, there's a lot of expectations now attached to the project, as well as, the name of HBO attached to it. You have a premiere coming up in May. The movie would be available on HBO Go as well for all to watch. What are your hopes out of this movie? And, as a South Asian woman, we are today celebrating International Women's Day. What do you hope, the women, when they watch it, especially the South Asian women, what do you think and what do you hope they take away from it?
That's a great question. Halwa is the story of a woman dealing with a less than ideal situation. That's an understatement. She's somebody who doesn't have a wonderful home life and marriage. There are problems in her marriage. And through this modern experience of connecting online, she liberates herself from that. She takes a step forward. She finds courage to disengage from it and find a sense of self that she had lost. And so I'm extremely excited for this film to be on HBO's platforms, because the kind of reach that we get through HBO is huge. Not only can people now access it all across North America come May, when they broadcast it and put it on HBO and HBO Go and HBO Now, but other filmmakers can see that we do have access to platforms like these. There are people out there empowering us, and the Asian Pacific American Visionaries Contest is one of the most spectacular ways to achieve that. We're in great company this year. Mad respect for the other two directors, but what's also exciting is that we're the first South Asian team to make it in the few years that's been on. So that feels like a huge leap forward, and I absolutely know that we're not going to be the last. Of course, I absolutely know that we're not going to be the last team of South Asian origin.
Of course, and
So
we really hope you become the first winners of this. This would be a huge honor for South Asian American filmmakers here. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely. This is a huge win for South Asian American filmmakers. And honestly, for South Asian filmmakers everywhere, I think
exactly.
Having access to a platform like this is incredible. So Nirav and I are extremely grateful to HBO's Asian American Pacific. Nirav and I are extremely grateful to HBO's Asian Pacific American Contest, and we can't wait for everybody to have access to this film.
And I have to ask you, you mentioned that there are two other finalists in this competition, and they're both also female filmmakers. What do you have to say about growth of female filmmakers over these last couple of years? We've really seen this huge push for women, and I bring it again because we are celebrating International Women's Day today. What are your opinions on that, Gayatri?
I think the growth for female filmmakers in the industry and outside of it is definitely on the upswing. I'm very excited. I'm grateful to the movements that have happened recently, including the Me Too movement, the Time's Up movement, and all the studies and all the voices that have been raised in favor of increasing female filmmakers and, in general, females behind the camera in the industry. I do think that sometimes when we get caught up in the movements, we get the feeling on social media that things are way more advanced than they are. And I want to stay grounded in the fact that even this year, the number of female-directed movies that were big budget were vanishingly low. So I have both optimism that things are changing, and also want to stay grounded in the reality that a lot more still needs to be done. But the fact that someone like me, via my co-director Nirav, is getting this kind of exposure, and the fact that both the other two winners on HBO's APA competition are female, it's truly exciting, and young females too. So that to me speaks volumes, and it heralds a new era. I'm very happy about that and very grateful.
Well, here's to all you boss women. I mean, we can only look up to you. What are you looking forward to in May at the LA Film Festival? It's going to be a huge one for you and Nirav.
I think most of all, we're just looking forward to getting the film out there, having it seen on the big screen for the first time. We're going to have our premiere at LAPF.
Right.
And getting to talk to other filmmakers about their craft, the kinds of stories they want to tell, connecting on that level, and getting to tell people about what got us here, and encouraging others to gain access, to push, to enter the same contest and gain the same platforms for themselves.
Of course. Well, it was amazing having you here with us, Gayatri. I would love for you to give our viewers one last message on Halwa. We're all looking forward to seeing it on HBO Go, hopefully this May. And we really hope you are the winner for this competition. Your last message is?
Hi, everyone. My name is Gayatri, and I am a filmmaker. And I want to wish you all happy International Women's Day. As a filmmaker, I feel like this is our time to shine and take control of our stories. And I hope you all do that this year.